Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some really exciting information to go over. Some pretty big Nintendo Switch 2 leaks have dropped. We also have some other bits and bobs to go over for Pokemon Legends ZA. There's a lot of things to break down and get into today though. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's go over these new Nintendo Switch 2 leaks. Now, of course, we are expecting the announcement of this new console very, very soon, maybe even as early as June, but this is the latest information about the next gaming system from Nintendo. So we have VGC here tweeting out saying new Nintendo Switch 2 details have reportedly leaked. It's claimed that the console will come with Joy-Con controllers that attach magnetically and that it will work with the current Switch Pro controller. So we have a whole article to go over. There's not just that, there's quite a few leaks to take a look at today about the next gen Switch, but yeah, this is very, very likely to be the case. It's very, very reliable, but either way, it starts off by saying Switch 2 reportedly has magnetic Joy-Cons, might not support existing ones. It's also claimed that the current Pro controller will be compatible with Nintendo's new console. So new details about Nintendo Switch's successor have reportedly surfaced. So long-running Spanish video game website Vandal claims to have received information about the console from sources at peripherals manufacturers. So according to the website, Switch 2's Joy-Con controllers will attach to the console magnetically, as current Joy-Cons connect to the Switch using a rail system. It's unclear if they'll be forwards compatible with the new console. So we have the Pro controller, which is likely to be compatible with the next gen console, and then we also have the current Nintendo Switch like handheld Joy-Cons that will probably not be compatible with the new console, because obviously they are completely different ways that they are connecting to the Switch. You know, the actual Nintendo Switch that we know connects using a rail system, whereas the new Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons are looking like they're going to connect magnetically. But with the Pro controller, obviously it's different. They don't connect like that, so it'll probably just be like USB or something like that with the Pro controller. But either way, that was the first kind of leak to go over. We also have this. So the existing Switch Pro controller will work with the Switch 2, it's claimed. So that's the Pro controller, which is obviously, like I say, different from the Joy-Cons. So Pro controller, tick, Joy-Cons, cross. That's apparently the situation with the new Nintendo Switch 2. So if you do have a Pro controller, you will be able to, well, it looks like you'll still be able to use it with the next Nintendo Switch. It then goes on to say it's worth noting that prior to the Nintendo Switch OLED's reveal in 2021, Vandal accurately reported on some of the console's features, such as the inclusion of a new stand and an Ethernet port. So that's why this is like quite reliable, because when the OLED was originally revealed in 2021, this Spanish news outlet stated that the Nintendo Switch OLED was going to have a new stand and also going to have an Ethernet port, which of course the Nintendo Switch OLED ended up having, which is why, you know, they're reliable, because they've got things right about this actual thing. It's not like they got things right about something completely different like a PlayStation or whatever. This is literally about the Nintendo Switch that they've got right in the past, so why would they get it wrong this time around? You know what I mean? Of course, it is still, like I say, take it with a grain of salt, but they have a very good track record when it comes to the Nintendo Switch console. Then goes on to say, VGC reported in February that Nintendo had initially delayed the launch of its next-gen console from this year to early 2025. One publishing source suggested the delay was so that it could prepare stronger first-party software for the console, while others have claimed the move was made to avoid potential hardware supply issues. Either way, whichever one of these is correct, the Nintendo Switch 2 did get delayed, or it looks like it's been delayed, because apparently it was originally going to come out like this year, but now it looks like it's going to be early next year, 2025. Then goes on to say VGC has also reported last summer that development kits for the Nintendo Switch 2 were in the hands of key partner studios. Two sources VGC spoke to at the time suggested that the console could launch with an LCD screen instead of the more premium OLED in order to bring down costs, especially considering the increased storage needed for higher fidelity games. So that's kind of like the original article, but we do also have other kind of people talking about this as well, and what other kind of situations have arose with these latest leaks and stuff. So we have Stealth here, who kind of always comments on these sort of situations, saying new information about the Nintendo Switch 2 from Vondel. So it's larger than the Switch. And again, I don't know where this information is on this article. I don't know if I've like skipped it or something, but either way, this is the article they're linking. But the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be larger than the Nintendo Switch. So I'm assuming that means the dock and the console, or the handheld console, are both going to be larger than the Nintendo Switch. We don't know how much bigger, but they are going to be bigger, apparently. Again, this is the same source as the one that's kind of saying all this information as well. So it's going to be larger. The Joy-Cons are going to be magnetic, which of course is something we've already spoken about. The Switch Pro controller, already spoken about that. The fact that it's most likely going to be supported with the Nintendo Switch 2. The next thing is that accessory manufacturers have touched the new system, but not actually looked at it. So that's a very, very interesting kind of comment there, and Stealth does talk about it a little bit, but yeah, accessory manufacturers have touched the new system but not actually looked at it. Like I said, it's a very, very interesting comment. So we then have Stealth saying, I thought that last point was strange, but this is what they said. Nintendo allowed them to put their hands on an opaque box so they could understand its dimensions and design without compromising the secrecy of the system. So they were given a box of this console, an opaque box that they could touch with their hands to kind of get an idea about the dimensions of the Nintendo Switch 2 without giving away the design, compromising obviously the secrecy of the system. So that's what it means by they've touched the new system but not actually looked at it. So they've actually held like the box that it's going to come in, or like the actual size of the box that it's going to come in, but they haven't actually looked at the new system. They don't know what it looks like. Should still be taken as a rumor, of course. Can't wait for the internet to explode when Nintendo officially reveals their next console system. So really, really big information coming out of the Nintendo Switch 2 pipeline today. Like I say, all of this is likely to be true because, as I've said previously in this video, Vandal have correctly got things right about the Nintendo Switch systems like in the past for the OLED. So there's no reason as to why this isn't true. But again, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Wait until it's obviously proven and stuff. But some good things, you know. Obviously the Joy-Cons, I'm not too fussed about that because the Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch are like, they're not great. They break a lot. The drift and stuff has been a massive issue for the Nintendo Switch. So hopefully the new Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons won't have that kind of issue. I know there's been a lot of talk about stopping the drift and everything with the next console because the amount that they've had to kind of fix, you know, and repair that people have sent them is a bit crazy. So yeah, hopefully that sorts that situation out. And that's probably another reason as to why you can't use the Joy-Cons because, like I say, they're going to be created in a whole different way, whereas the Pro controller is probably just going to be USB, unless it's obviously like wireless. But either way, both will still work. It's just the Joy-Cons that probably won't work. But yeah, obviously it being larger is kind of, I think that's kind of a given maybe. But the fact that yeah, they've actually touched the box but not actually seen it is kind of crazy. But either way, that's that. We do also have Pori Leaks talking about this as well, saying Pro controller backwards compatibility. Sounds like backwards compatibility is likely coming for the Nintendo Switch 2. So again, this is something that's been kind of rumored and suggested a lot recently, that we are going to have backwards compatibility between the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch, especially because we're going to be able to keep the same Nintendo accounts and everything like that. I just don't know why we would do that if we weren't going to have backwards compatibility, because obviously on the Nintendo accounts and stuff, it's all your information and everything regarding the games and stuff. So it'd be really, really nice to see that obviously all be accessible with the Nintendo Switch 2. And hopefully it means we wouldn't have to buy the game again. You know, like let's say you buy, I don't know, Pokémon Scarlet or something on your Nintendo Switch, and then you'd be able to play it on Nintendo Switch 2. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, backwards compatibility is definitely something that a lot of people want to see, and hopefully is something that we do end up seeing for this next console. But either way, those are all of the latest leaks for the Nintendo Switch 2. What are your thoughts on everything that we've covered? Like I say, these bullet points are the main kind of things that were leaked today. Well, obviously I'm recording this on the 26th, but this will probably go up on the 27th. But this was all the information reported on the 26th. So yeah, larger than the Switch, magnetic Joy-Cons, Switch Pro controller is supported, and then the accessory manufacturers have touched the new system but not actually looked at it. Let me know your thoughts on all that, and when do you think we're going to see the reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2? I'm still fingers crossed for June this year, but we'll have to wait and see. Because, of course, it does have implications on Pokemon and stuff as well. Like, if Legends EA is going to be for the Switch too, that maybe means we might be quite close to getting some gameplay and some actual trailer information on that upcoming Pokemon game too. So, that's all of that. Moving on, we have a couple of other things to quickly go over today as well regarding Mega Evolutions in Pokemon Legends ZA, and also characters in Pokemon Legends Arceus that could have some sort of resemblance to Kalos and Legends ZA. So we have Soul Silverheart here saying it's still not confirmed that every Mega Evolution will return in Pokemon Legends ZA, especially if they add new ones. So obviously a lot of people are expecting all of them to return, but there are actually quite a few implications with every single Mega Pokemon returning. Like, there's some that just don't make sense to be in the game, but either way. So I went through and tried to figure out which ones might not be in Pokemon Legends ZA. I was mainly thinking Legendaries and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Megas. Let me know if you think there's any I missed or that I shouldn't have eliminated. So these are all of the Mega Evolutions here. So Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, Beedrill, Pidgeot should I say, yada yada yada. So the ones that he has crossed out are Mega Aerodactyl, Mega Mewtwo X, Mega Mewtwo Y, Mega Sceptile, Mega Blaziken, Mega Swampert, and then Mega Latias, Mega Latios, and then Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon. But interestingly left Mega Rayquaza in. So they obviously have bullet points as to why they've got rid of these Pokemon. But either way, Mewtwo's and Aerodactyl wouldn't be available if Pokemon Legends ZA is set in the past. And that does make a lot of sense. You know, Mewtwo would not have been created yet. Probably Dr. Fuji hasn't even been born yet, you know, the person that created Mewtwo. So how would Mewtwo be in the game? The only way it would be in the game is through like some sort of time portal dimension sort of situation going on, like we got in Legends Arceus with the time dimension thingies. But if the game doesn't have that, then Mewtwo makes literally no sense to be in the game from a continuity standpoint, because it hasn't existed yet. You know, it just can't be in the game. Aerodactyl could, because Aerodactyl obviously is a fossilized Pokemon, but maybe that, yeah, the technology to revive the Pokemon probably doesn't exist yet. So I'm assuming Legends ZA will be in that time period between Aerodactyl actually existing and the machines used to revive these fossils. So it does make sense from like a biological point of view and everything that Mewtwo and Aerodactyl shouldn't be in the game. However, Hoenn starters, because starter Pokemon from other games / regions are always a bit less likely to be included, especially when we could already have a mixed starter trio, the Kanto starters and Kalos starters. So I think this isn't just the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire starters. I think this does also affect the Kanto starters as well, if that is the situation, that obviously starters are very hit and miss or whether they're in the game or not. And if anything, I think the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire starters are more likely to be in the game. You know, if we do not get the Generation 6 starters as the starter Pokemon for Legends EA, I'm definitely expecting Blaziken to be one of the starters. You know, Torchic is based on a rooster, which is the national animal of France. It makes sense to be one of the starter Pokemon. Especially if we get like Torchic, Snivy, and I don't know, Piplup. It would actually give us a chance to give Snivy and Piplup Mega Evolutions, whereas Blaziken already has one. Same situation as what happened with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Like, Blaziken already had a Mega Evolution, but Sceptile and Swampert got one. So that's why I would be more inclined to believe they'd be in it. But at the same time, obviously the Kanto starters were in X and Y, and obviously that'd probably be repeated. But at the same time, you know, this is set before that happened, so maybe they're not in the game. But either way, the starters are a little bit hit and miss. And then also, Primals seem very unlikely due to the lore, which again also makes a lot of sense. You know, Primals, like I say, very much lore-driven in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so it's unlikely that they would be in the game. And then I kept Rayquaza because of its Mega Evolution lore. So that's the kind of bullet points as to why these certain Mega Evolutions may or may not be in the game. It does definitely make a lot of sense. I don't know which Mega Evolutions we've already seen from the trailer. Off the top of my head, I don't know if we've seen any. I'm trying to think of the trailer. We didn't see that many Pokemon, but either way, there might be one announced anyway. But either way, that's kind of the Mega Evolutions that you might and might not see in Pokemon Legends ZA. So let me know your thoughts on that. Do you agree with this list, or do you think some should not be crossed out and you think others should be crossed out? The last thing that I wanted to go over today was this post also by Soul Silverheart. We just recently spoken about, I think I got her name wrong because a lot of the comments were like, you got the name wrong. So I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but we also went over this previously. But either way, in a similar way to her, we know that Kamado is very Japanese themed. He's probably from Johto. Yet the armor he wears is exactly the same as the X and Y Elite Four member Wilkstrom's, but black. So yeah, as you can see, the armor is definitely the same. You can see from this image here, they are the exact same pattern, it's just black instead of grey. He says this armor is from Galar, but the first and only place we've ever seen it is in Kalos. So I'm not saying he's from Kalos, but this definitely could have been a huge nod to what the region was coming next in Pokemon Legends ZA. Could also mean that, yeah, that we get also more information from other regions that potentially could be existing around the same time as Legends, you know. If he's talking about Galar that he got this from, then, you know, we might get Legends Galar one day. You really don't know. But either way, just wanted to quickly go over that as well because I think it's quite interesting. So yeah, massive shout out to Soul Silver Art for that and the Mega Evolution thing. What are your thoughts on these two things that we just covered? Let me know. And also, what are your thoughts on all of the Nintendo Switch 2 leaks as well? Do you think that this is true? Would you want it to be true? Are you hoping it's not true? Let me know your thoughts. But that is going to be everything from me. If you enjoyed the video, please do drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. Really does help out. Like I say, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.